Welcome, welcome inside the kennel, the heartbeat of the dog game, where real breeders break down real experiences, and the experts drop the knowledge you can't Google. We talking structure, bloodlines, nutrition, training, wins, losses, and everything that makes champions in and out of the ring. This is for the ones who live it, breathe it, and build it, one lit at a time. Your host, Kevin, Ben, and Roderick. Lock in.
All right, it's Benny Hood here with Christine, and I'm gonna let you say your last name because I don't want to butcher it. It's it's definitely not something I see on the regular in my area.
All right. My name is Christine Pasquale Schwartz,
Eh,
and I am a certified dog trainer, CDT, and I'm just hanging out with Benny Hood right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about when you bring a puppy home and the first things you need to do and the steps you need to follow to have a productive relationship with your dog, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So it's funny that you say that because now I go into something else, Benny. So when you first bring your puppy home, do not give the dog, the pup, the entire house. The dog is transported from one place to the next, whether you bought it, whether it was at a shelter, rescue, doesn't matter. Do not give the dog the entire house, the run of the house. The dog will be frightened because from one place to another, from its mama to its little mates to wherever, do not give the dog the run of the house. You
And what?
want to,
Oh, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
no,
what
yeah.
what age range are we talking about here? If you adopt
Any
what
age,
any
any
age
age,
doesn't matter.
any age, any age. When you bring home a dog, you want to give that dog 72 hours to decompress, and you do not want to give the dog too much to overload. Oh my gosh, what is this place? The dog is already screwed up from being moved from place to place. Puppy, not puppy, rescued, bought, it doesn't matter. Dog still needs 72 hours. And the more we give the dog, we are asking too much of the dog. We're pushing past the dog's threshold. So everyone's like, oh, check out your new house. Yeah, no. You should do after 72 hours, take the dog on a leash with you, right? Get some treats and introduce the dog to each room a day at a time. And do not give the dog the run of the house. You will make the dog anxious. And that's how we create anxiety. That's step one. Step one. I hear it all the time. Oh, when
So
clients call me, yeah,
so so you would be setting your crate up in the living room for him, like set him up or her up a spot that is theirs, and it would stay localized to that room for the first 72 hours.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yep, yep. So, that's like socialization because we have to socialize the dog to its new environment, regardless of where it came from. How do we do that? Do we say, "Here, dog, have everything"? No, we want to do it slowly. We want to build a relationship with the dog and socialize the dog to the environment that it's in, slow and steady. Understand that they do not speak English. They do not understand. We say, you know what, this is your house. It's all yours. You can have it because I love you and I want to give you everything. They don't understand that. What they do take away from that is, oh boy, I have to think. And this is a really big, scary place. Take it slow. Take it slow.
They generally that's kind of how it goes. Anyways, when you bring a puppy home, it's kind of skittish for a couple of days, and then it starts waking up to the situation. And
You're right. As a matter of fact, any dog, 30 days, day one through 30, that's not the dog that you're going to get. Meaning, especially when you're talking about a rescue or an older dog. So the dog comes in the first 72 hours, then it's another week or two, and you will see the dog change over time. You'll see the dog get comfortable. You'll see different things come out of the dog that you didn't have week one, week two, week three. On day 31, that's the dog that you're going to get. That's like behavior and medical. And I don't do medical, I don't talk medical, but that is how long it takes for you to see the dog that you're going to get. So, again, if you buy it, if you rescue it, 30 days, that's the dog you're going to get on the 31st day, because it has to get used to its environment. It has to get a feeling of belonging. It has to uh, say, okay, this is my house. And this is all what we have to do to make sure the dog doesn't take over. But that's a whole nother conversation.
So,
But
so, so how long would you recommend, like, once you get a puppy, like, how long do you let it just be a puppy before you start, not necessarily like housebreaking or whatever, but, sit, stay, start working with commands. How,
okay,
how,
so
how old does that puppy
okay,
need to be?
so I start training right away, but in a fun way. This is not, oh my God, you got to do this, da da, sit down, stay, da da. No, it's not. It's not like that. It's associating the dog, socializing the dog to a leash, to a puppy collar, to being with me. That's the learning theory, which you and I are going to get to down the road, because that's way above, this part of the conversation.
It's
But
not the
we
101.
right. So training starts right away. Besides potty training, crate training, socialization, those are the three big hits when you have a puppy. But right away it starts. But we're not going to teach the dog the hand signals and correct the dog when the dog doesn't get it, because the dog doesn't know anything.
Right.
So, but we start teaching the dog to be with us right away, from jump, without corrections, without yelling, without screaming, because the dog doesn't know anything. And by the way, yelling is a form of barking. The more you yell, the worse the dog is going to get anyway. He's only going to outbark you. So yeah, so I hear that all the time. Sit, 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 sit. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Well, it's just like your kids, right? Like, you can't expect them to, if you're scolding them, their sense of awareness is diminished.
Exactly. You know what? Let me tell you something.
They get a little
Dogs
panicky, right?
dogs and humans, we learn completely differently. Okay. Humans, for the most part, we learn by failure. We fail a test, we study, we do it again. We lose a job, we get it, we go out and get a new job. We, whatever it is, we learn by failure. Science, right? Every time science comes out with a new cure for whatever, it that cure got there after failing, 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 failing. Make sense, right? Okay.
Yes.
Guess what? Dogs do not learn by failure. So every time we correct and scold the dog when it doesn't know what is being asked, the dog checks out. They only learn by positive reinforcement. And I am not a purely positive trainer. What I'm saying is, you do not constantly yell at the dog. When a correction is needed, when a dog understands what it's being asked, if you want to say, hey, yo, whatever, no, let's redo that, that's fine. But every time you correct your dog or snap at your dog or yell, the dog goes, I don't want to work for you anymore. I'm checking out, dude. And that is how you break the dog's bond with you. Meanwhile, when you positively reinforce, especially in the learning stages, again, the dog doesn't know, so we have to teach it what we want and reward the dog. So even if it's not getting it right in the very beginning, because it's not, you help the dog get there. So like a basic sit, 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 sit. Okay, so the dog's not going to get it right. Although just sit is physics, head up, ass down. But
Right.
all dogs know how to sit. But just to a point, I want to be able to say to the dog, sit, and when he doesn't sit on the first time, am I going to yell at him? No, I'm going to help him. I'm going to lure him and shape the behavior. And that's what I do, what trainers do. You have to lure and shape the dog into a physical position. And when the dog gets it, yay, yay, even if it took you 25 times, because the dog never did it before for you. Right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. So, like, when you say right away, like, what would be the youngest you would take a puppy? Because I do know that there's a window there that if you go too long, and you leave it with the mother too long, then you kind of it set the dog back to start with, and if you take it too early, that's just
but you
irresponsible.
can't you cannot take it before 8 weeks. You cannot take a dog before 8 weeks, because what happens when you take a dog away from its mother before 8 weeks old, they can get 5 week puppy syndrome. Okay, so 5 week puppy syndrome. What is that? It's the last couple of weeks of neurological bonding, whatever. This is medical, so I don't speak those words, but because I had to learn this, okay, it's the last 2 weeks of mama and puppy. Mama gives that dog its final neurological bond. We cannot replace that. We cannot fix that. We cannot teach the dog whatever the mother is giving her pup the last couple of weeks. That's why we do not take a dog away from its mama before 8 weeks.
So
Um,
what behavior would that puppy exhibit if it had that?
well, there's no test for this. This is behavioral. This is it's more than a theory. It is a fact, but the problem is it's not a provable fact. Meaning there's no test for it. So when I see a dog, what will you see? Good question. You could see everything to nothing. It's different with every dog. You take the puppy away, you can see the dog does not know how to play, does not know how to act like a dog, does not know how to mingle with its own species. It could be aggressive, or nothing can happen. That's the problem
Well,
with 5 week
so
puppy syndrome.
I asked because that kind of hit home a little bit because I whelp puppies for other people, but usually it's because there's a challenge there, right? The mother didn't have milk, she got mastitis, something happened to where the puppies had to be tube fed or bottle fed, and so they don't have that option to where they're with the mother that last couple of weeks.
Well, that's
And
that's an issue. But if you have to bottle feed, why would you still take the dog away from its mother? You can still
well,
have the
because I
mother.
don't, it's not my dog.
Ah,
You
okay,
know,
that's a
so I'm
different
doing
term.
it for somebody else.
If you have a female, let that other female be with that pup.
Okay.
It will hopefully mother it the way the mother would. Now, I don't know, so I'm not going to say this for a fact. I don't know if a surrogate mom will give that pup the last 2 weeks of neurological uh, information that it's original, that its mother would give it. So I can't answer that. But I do know that when you have a pup and there is no mama, you would like to put that pup with a female dog, preferably one that's had a litter
So,
already.
so I did one time. Like I had a singleton, and I did a little research on it, and it was like those puppies generally don't learn. They play too rough because they don't have a sibling to learn how to play with. That'll bite it back to teach it limits. Is this what we're
Yeah.
talking about here? And
No, no, we're
no
not. But
different.
that's a good one. No, it's different. Meaning, it's what the mother gives to the puppy the last two
Well,
weeks.
so like what I read up on that was that it's very important to leave that puppy with the mother a little longer because she'll teach what its siblings didn't. And I just wondered if that was relatable to what you're talking about here.
No, it's
Nope.
not.
She said that so you
It
said that so
no, no,
gingerly. You don't hurt my feelings or what?
no. It's not because it is the neurological bonding, the neurological piece, and I wish I had the exact words, and I don't. The neurological last piece that the puppy needs from the mother. So that has nothing to do with
Okay, it's different
teaching.
things, Anna.
Yes, but to your question, yes. If there are no puppy, no litter mates, yes, the mother will correct the dog and say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. We have to hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay. All right, we're good.
So now very good that you brought that up because when the dogs are with their litter mates, that is exactly how they learn how to be a dog. Meaning they're play fighting and they play really rough puppies,
Yeah.
and that's how they tell each other, "Yo, jerk off! You just hurt me."
Yeah.
And that's one of the ways teething. That's one of the ways that we start off teaching a dog to stop using its mouth. Meaning they're mouthing, they're mouthing because that's all they have is their mouth, right? Their nose, their mouth, their paws, right? We go like this. The dog looks around because the dog would know, oh, when I was with my little mates, that's the sound that we used to make to tell each other, "Hey, jerk off, you hurt me."
Yeah.
So that's like one of the tricks in the very beginning. It doesn't work for forever because, like everything else, like children, I guess I don't have any, but it it wears off, and then we would have to go into the next trick. But that's one of the first things. Like Lily girl here, I helped her come out of her mama. I have any girl? Yes, I did. So I saw her rough play and squeal all the time because she used to get beat up by her little mates. This one here. Come on, Lily. Say hello. Say hello to everybody. Lily. That's Lily. That's my healer, my blue healer pit bull mix. I don't know. She was at the rescue.
She's
We
pretty.
had them. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl.
I had a healer for like 12 years, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a mix, but
Yeah,
they're real good family dogs, but we had to put her up when we had company because she's too protective.
Really protective.
Yeah, she wouldn't like attack people, but she would nip. If one of my kids, if they were running around the house playing or whatever like that, and they scream, she took that as, I guess, a threat, and whoever made her scream would get nipped. Like, for instance, my brother was here all day long one time, and when we got done and he got ready to go, he reached and shook my hand. She had no problem with him all day long, but as soon as he shook my hand and touched me, like she bit him in the calf.
That's not protection. That's guarding. That's your fault.
Well, I'm not saying it was my fault.
Okay.
I understand. It's like children. You're responsible for them, and all their behavior is your fault.
But well, unfortunately, a lot of the behavior issues, most of the behavior issues, are our fault. It's the human. Most dogs do not come out the box with resource guarding, with anxiety. We do that.
I believe that. I wouldn't argue with you on that at all. Now, I guess the trick is to, and that's why we're doing this, right? Like, it's so when you get a puppy, you raise that puppy right, and you socialize that puppy right, and then you don't have these obstacles to overcome with the training.
Yes. If you start that bond right away, that's why it's important to start the training right away. Again, we're not yelling, screaming, sit down, leave it, drop it, but we are having the dog with us, following us, looking at us, not in the eyes. Here, look. Lenny, look. Yes, good look. Um, Socialization. So 16 weeks and under, a dog socializes itself to everything. Meaning, thunderstorm. 16 weeks and below, the puppy hears a thunderstorm. You'll see her go like that. Okay, he will not be afraid of a thunderstorm because nothing bad happened to her, when she heard it 16 weeks or under. They socialize themselves. Now, if something bad happened during a thunderstorm to that dog, then she would have associated a thunderstorm to something bad, but that would happen by itself. 16 weeks plus 1 day, they stop socializing on their own. 16 weeks below, they do it themselves. 16 weeks plus 1 day, we now have to socialize dogs, puppies, to everything. How do we do that? Positive association. So there's a thunderstorm coming, and the dog is, 17 weeks, never had a thunderstorm before. So you're going to get ready by having some treats, having a job that the puppy likes. When I say a job, whatever it is, whatever toy that the dog likes. And as the storm is approaching, yay, yay, you feed the dog those positive treats. You engage the dog in something else. Why? One, because the dog will associate that sound with good things to come. Boom. Yeah, yay! Nothing bad happened to the dog. So I got something good when I heard that sound. That's one. Two, dogs are linear thinkers. Sorry, Benny, they're like men. They cannot do two things at once. So if a dog is being worked, played with during that, they can't concentrate on anything else but what they're doing at that second. Linear thinker. So there's a thunderstorm, and I want to associate the dog positively. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to walk around with the dog. I'm going to play with it. Every time there's a bang, yay! Because that sound means good things to come.
You feel like you're gonna treat around here. You be training a dog to wish for tornadoes now.
There you go. So Biggie Smalls, it has severe anxiety, right? And the first 4th of July that he was with us, um, he was a basket case. I said, oh no. I took him outside, and 4th of July has been what, in the middle of the week for the last couple of years. So they start the weekend before, go through the week, and then the weekend after. Okay. I said, I took him outside, and he is very food motivated, which is really helps. Open up a jar of my dog butter, right? Paw Power. And every single, and this is going to sound funny because I'm going to start singing now. So, and I don't have a singing voice. Every single, the block was lighting up, and I would go like this. Biggie Smalls goes boom boom yay, and I would shove the peanut butter right in his face. Biggie Smalls goes boom boom yay. I stood outside for a couple of hours. He's not afraid of 4th of July anymore. I stood outside because nothing bad happened to the dog. Nothing bad happened. He heard the sound. He got dog butter. Yay! He's not afraid of 4th of July anymore. The only one that I cannot do this with is Pablo. Pablo is when a dog gets really, really scared and the anxiety kicks in real high. One of the first things to go is their food. They don't want to eat. They turn off their nose. They don't want to eat. So I cannot help him, and it's gut wrenching because he freaks out. Thunderstorm and 4th of July. I have to medicate him. Bed on 4th of July because all he wants to do is go into the bathtub and scratch through the bathtub. I don't know where he got that from, but that's what he's done from day one. And I've done the work. Some things you just can't fix. So it's a shame, but I have to burrito wrap him. I take him in a blanket, and I lay on top of him every time that there's a thunderstorm, and then he calms down.
Well, but this is an older dog that you adopted, right?
No, Pablo, I had right off the plane from Puerto Rico. The rescue I was with back then, they were in Puerto Rico. They brought back a whole bunch of pups, and she called me. She said, "Get the rescue ready. We're coming back with a handful of puppies." I said, "All right, send me the pictures, Papa." I said, "That one right there, he's not going up for adoption. He's adopted. He's mine." And that was Pablo.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, huh? It's just some things you can't fix, like you said.
No, yeah, no, you cannot fit. And by the way, the training. Dogs learn opposite us, but they also have two different ways of learning, meaning applied learning. We apply it, they learn it. Repetition or an event. So, whatever happened before I got Pablo, maybe when he was in Puerto Rico, maybe a thunderstorm scared the crap out of him. Maybe there were fireworks because it was August when I got him. I don't know. And I can't fix it because it's called behavior modification. You can modify behavior, can't fix it. So when we train, we apply it. We apply the word, we apply the command, we apply the hand signal. They learn it. We apply it, they learn it. But the other way that they learn is through an event. So I give this example all the time. You're cooking something really yummy on the stove. Dogs have 250,000 scent receptors. They got to go check out that smell. Goes over to the stove, jumps up on the stove, burns his paws. All by himself. The dog is never going back to that stove. Not that stove. Not that stove, because it was an event that we did not apply anything. He went to that stove, jumped up, got hurt. So maybe something like that happened when he was in Puerto Rico, because he was way older than 16 weeks when he came here. So it could have been. It could have been. I got him in August, which means he was born sometime in, I don't know, June, May, probably May. So he was in Puerto Rico for the 4th of July, and maybe there was a thunderstorm too. I don't know. Can I know? No, I don't know. You can't tell me. But I know I can't fix it. I've done everything and I cannot fix it.
So, I guess to get back on track here with the puppy training. So, well, let's talk about some stuff that you can fix. You know, so
Yeah, what you can fix is go back to that 16 weeks. 16 weeks and under, they socialize to them. They socialize with all the things on their own. Get out there and bring the dog everywhere. Yes, I know shots. You can't put the dog on the ground. Yes, but you could carry the dog, or you could make sure that the dog is not eating or smelling any other dog stuff there. Get the dog to the firehouse, fire station, police, people in uniform, the mailman, the garbage truck. Let the dog hear it, see it. So when people get dogs in the winter, you know what I say? Use your cell phone. Play fireworks on your cell phone. Associate the dog to the sound of fireworks now while it's still 16 weeks and under. This way, here, come 4th of July, the dog's not scared shitless. People listen? No. Anyway,
the ones
after
that want
16
to
weeks.
will. The ones that want to. I mean,
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
way you can pass knowledge to another person is they're willing to receive it, right?
Yes, they're willing to receive it, but sometimes they're not willing to believe. The other 16 weeks, what do we want to do? We still want to get that dog out to the mailman, to the garbage truck, da 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 da. But now we have to make it a positive event. Go back to that event, the event jumping on the stove. Well, now we have to make sure that anything that we bring the dog, introduce the dog to, that nothing bad happens. Because if something bad happens, that's on us that we did not protect the dog by making sure nothing bad happened. So you want to get some good treats, you want to get that game going, you want to go to the police station, you want to go to the fire station. When the garbage men come, go outside. Yay! Feed the dog. Yay! This way here. Oh, okay. Nothing bad happened. It's a lot. It's a little bit of work, but it's worth it, especially when you don't want to deal uh, with anxiety and watching your dog suffer during those every time the garbage man comes, every time the mailman comes, every time a truck passes by or the ambulance goes and all of that. So when you ask how young do I start, so immediately those are the things that I do. I don't start teaching recalls. I go out there and I carry the pup so it's not on the ground. Yeah, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. This way here, I am socializing the dog. And I got to tell you this, there is one thing that humans do that is horrible, that I need the world to understand this and stop doing it.
Go ahead, tell
When,
us now.
yo, yo, hello, let it go. Man, please. I don't know what they were walking in. This is what people do. Let me go. No, look. She's opening the door. My dogs can open up. Lindley, hi, mommy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Leave it. Leave. Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Look. 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 She has a bit of anxiety too. All right, guys, go scream your head off. So instead of, and people do this out of love for the dog, and I get it, but this is why everybody needs to be educated. What do we do in lieu of socializing the dog positively? There's a thunderstorm or the 4th of July or whatever is going on, and the dog is shaking. What do?
You hold it.
We are the highest reward to our dog. We look, talk, touch. Look, talk, touch. Look, talk, touch. When the dog is afraid and having a shit fit because it's thundering, the last thing you do is touch the dog, because what you just said is, yes, that's a good girl, good boy. You should be afraid of that sound every time because I'm afraid. You rewarded the dog in a negative state. You just gave the dog anxiety. I have to
There you
undo
go.
that. What you want to do is go back to what I said before. Dogs are linear thinkers. They can't do two things at once. So instead of coddling the dog, saying it's okay, the dog doesn't understand it's okay. And that's what people do to their kids. And I get that. And I don't have kids, but I know that my mother did it to me. We can understand English. They can't. Our touch is the highest reward. When we say, it's okay, mommy's got you, mommy and daddy's going to protect you from that big bad thunderstorm, what you said is, it's okay to be scared shitless. And every time you hear that, you should be just as scared as you are now. Boom, it's over. Socialization is that quickly, negative and positive.
So it's like you said, you should have them down playing, rewarding them, not holding them. Yeah,
Right, because
that makes sense.
dogs are linear thinkers. If the dog is doing something else, it cannot sit there and be afraid of the thunderstorm or the fireworks or the garbage truck. It can't be. It cannot do two things at once. So if I'm working the dog under as a stressful situation is approaching or it starts, get the dog out of it. Get the dog out of the negative right away. Dog can't concentrate on two things at once. Work the dog, play with the dog, do something, bust out those high value treats, something that the dog really likes. This way here, you can then start doing the association. So linear thinkers, get the dog out of it, get the dog, play with the dog, yada, yada, yada. And now you want to associate the dog to it. As you're working the dog, boom, 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 yes. The thunder goes boom, 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 yes, yes, yes. Oh, every time I hear that, I get good things to come. This is how we do not give our dog anxiety. But yet, people feel, and I get it, we love our dogs and we want to give them protection. But that's not how dogs are protected, by the way. They do not have our way of protection. Their protection is very different than ours. So people say, "Oh, I protect my dog. I have a roof over the head. I feed it. I take it out. I take it to the dog park. I hate dog parks. Take it to the dog park. I get it shots. This, that, and the third." Yeah, that's not dogs' protection, by the way. That's not what dogs really want. Dogs only need two things to survive. Just two, 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 two. One is, where's my next meal coming from? And two, how do I wake up alive? Period. How does that happen? So I have 10 homeless dogs. They all live on different corners. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They wake up. This guy goes pick up all his friends. Now there's a pack of 10. They go down that street, this street, and they go here to the bakery because they know they're going to get yesterday's bread. Then they go left, right, left, right. They go to this guy over here because they know that they're going to get the ham and cheese sandwich that the guy is going to not use from yesterday for them. Then they're going to go about their merry business. They're going to go left, right, left, right, left, 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 right. Then they're going to go to the pizzeria because the guy makes them a pizza pie every day. All right, we're good, right? We ate. Okay, we're going to go home now. They drop each other off. Tomorrow, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They go down this street, that street, make a left, make a right, go to that bakery. Make a left, make a right, go to that deli. Make a left, make a right, do whatever it is that they do, and then they go to the pizzeria, and then they go home. What do you hear there?
Creatures of habit. That's what I hear.
Because nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. They ate and they woke up alive. They got home safe and sound. That's what the dog needs. Two things. So how do we do that? How do we give that to our dogs? Consistency via training, not give it the free run of the house. Because the dog is taking on too much information that the dog is not capable of understanding. So give the dog foundation. Feed the dog at this time in the morning. Take the dog out at this time in the morning. Do not leave the dog food out all day because that's not a schedule. Dogs like schedules. They like to be told what to do. They do not want to make decisions on their own. I guarantee you dogs do not want to make decisions on their own. When we give the dog consistency, we follow the same path as much as we can every day, this is what you'll see. How can I serve you next? I don't have to think. This is the best thing in the world. I eat and I'm safe. I wake up alive every day.
Damn, you're right. Like dogs and men do think a lot alike.
Yeah, this is true too, right?
I don't need a lot. But so you know you was just talking about feeding, so that kind of transition to your next the topic here of you discussed like how to feed feeding with the pup, when and how,
Yeah.
and also
So
the water.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
Right.
was looking
So
through these notes, and a lot of this is pretty interesting.
yeah. So feeding. So when you have any dog, any age at this point, so provided that the dog doesn't have resource guarding that you should know of ahead of time if you rescued or adopted and it's an older dog, you want to, for the first week, you want to feed the dog out of your hand. You make the dog's bowl, and then you put the food in your hand and let the dog eat out of the palm of your hand. Why? Because they do not have the opposable thumbs. We do. We are resources to our dogs. Everything is ours. This is how we start letting the dog know that everything is ours. Meaning, you can't guard your food because it's mine and I give it to you. I giveth, I taketh. So we feed out of the palm of our hands, and then you let the dog finish from the bowl. You do a little bit, and then you let the dog finish. Do that for about a week or two, right? Then from there, you can stop with the palm, and then another week, you want to give the dog the bowl. Keep your hand in the bowl. Keep your hand in the bowl. Pet the dog on the tail, touch the paws, touch the ears, and then leave the dog alone to eat. After a couple of weeks of all that, you don't see any type of the dog stopping and looking at you like, yo, what are you doing? You should be a-okay. If you do, call a trainer.
So
Because
so you're
even puppies, yeah,
so
yeah.
what you're eliminating is food aggression, right? That's what you're driving at here.
Yeah. So food aggression is learned behavior. They don't come out the box with that, by the way. They don't come out the box saying, I'm going to bite you if you touch my food. The way that they get that, a couple of ways, but the most prevalent way is at a shelter or a rescue or on the dam. What is that? The farms. What are they called?
The puppy meals.
Yeah, puppy mills. So you have a whole bunch of puppies from a whole bunch of different mamas, right? Because they're breeders. Yeah, okay. They take a trough, like a horse, a trough.
Yeah.
Horses eat out of those long things for people who don't know what a trough is, and they put the hay in there. So at those places, 9 out of 10, they are dumping slop into a trough. They got a whole bunch of puppies, all ages, dogs, puppies. They got to run over to hurry up and get their food. What about those little guys? What about the guys that can't run that fast? What about the short little pups that can't get up there? They have to fight for their food. So what are they learning from jump? Oh my God, I gotta get this. I gotta get this food. That's how they learn to eat very quickly. Dog puppies do. Some do by nature eat very quickly.
Well,
But
so
the,
I was gonna bring that up it don't. I've had dogs that had that, and I've had them from the jump, and
right.
they never experienced a shortage of food. So, but they're just naturally that way, or maybe I screwed them up. I don't know, but
Well, where did the dogs come from? Did you have them?
yes, I have them. Like they're my dogs from birth,
Okay. So
and
okay. So from her.
it's only been a couple, but it's uncanny. Like I have a female that she's a Frenchie, and she just doesn't want anybody around her bowl. Now she don't like viciously go about them, but she does guard it.
Okay. So I don't. That would be a separate conversation for you and I to figure out exactly how that started. But you could modify that, and you should, because everything is yours. Everything is ours. Even if it's theirs, it's ours because they don't have a job. They don't go out and get a paycheck and pay the mortgage. We have to give it to them. Everything is ours. There's one free resource to a dog: water. And
Water.
as a puppy, water. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that they do not have to work for. They have to work for everything. But you said you had the Frenchie as a puppy. Who? Any other pups?
You talking about with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she was part of a litter.
Yeah. Okay. So what you didn't see is that she couldn't get to her food fast enough. That's how she learned it.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you, but
If
that would be a
if
very hard. That's a hard sell for me because of how I raise the litter. Like once they're weaned and they're supervised, it's
Yeah,
not a
but
deal
see,
where they're.
something like that could happen so slightly and you don't even realize it. So if I have a pup and they have 5 different bowls and they're all eating, and one pup walks away and goes to that pup, that's all it could take. Something like that. So I walk over, I want to see what's in your bowl. It could trigger that quickly. Oh no, I'm hungry. I want my
Now
my
now
food.
that could happen because I have a system that's, it's different bowls with gates in between to where like blinders, to where it's like a
Okay,
stall to where to
that's
prevent
good.
that, but you can't prevent everything, and you do have to constantly. That's what I'm saying. They're supervised is because I have to constantly put them back in their stall, especially in the
And
beginning. They seem to figure it out after about a week, but in the
right,
beginning, it is musical chairs, musical
that's
bowls. Like
right,
you have to
right.
keep, yeah,
Right, and it could take just one event of you getting too close to my food, and it could happen just that quickly, just like that. So when we have resource guarding from how they were fed, they learned I have to hurry up, eat my food, and I have to protect it because if I don't, all these other dogs are going to get it, and that's how one of the ways that resource guarding is learned all by itself. That's an event. They had to protect their food. They had to hurry up and eat because all these other dogs are going to get their food. So what we want to do is start feeding the dog out of your hand. He will understand this is my food and I'm giving it to you. Take it away. Give it. Take it away. After a little bit, let the dog eat out of its own bowl. Leave the dog the hell alone. Let him eat. You do that for a week or two. You don't see any type of turning around, looking at you cockeyed like, yo, what are you doing? Then you move on to the bowl. Just keep your hand in the bowl. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah, okay. Then let the dog eat in peace. And you want to pet the dog from behind. You want to touch the tail, touch the paws, touch the ears, and then leave the dog the heck alone. This way, here the dog understands that you could take it, you could give it, you could touch it. This is your food, and you have to deal with that. And that, when doing it from jump, that teaches the dog, oh, that's okay. It's okay. You're trying to eliminate. Now listen, is this a cure for everything? Is this a cure for all resource guarding? No, because resource guarding comes in all shapes and sizes.
well, you got to
Doesn't
start
have to be
somewhere
what.
though, right? You
That's right. That's right. So they have resource guarding with a bone. So just because you do that with the food, you may not have resource guarding with the food, but you could get it with a toy.
yes, absolutely.
So, but start with what you can do at least.
Well, well, yeah, you have to, like I said, you have to start somewhere, and it's good to know because, like I said, I I don't know why that happened with her, but like I said, and it's weird because like she don't go after them as a fight. She just
No,
keeps
she gives
getting
them she
in
gives
the
them a
way.
warning. It's a
Yeah.
warning. It's a yo. And the other dogs heed that warning. Luckily, that's good. That's a
Well,
good thing
yeah. Well,
for
she's
the
kind
most.
of the
For the
boss,
most.
so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about boss, but
You,
everybody confuses
you don't think
alpha with. Good.
there's not a pecking order when it comes to
Oh no
dogs?
no no! Oh yes, there is
Okay,
absolutely.
that's what.
But that pecking order, there could be multiple alphas at one time. The alpha can change daily. Could go to one. It could go to two. So in this house, I have 4 dogs. Uh, Lily is the mother. She's the mother hen. So when she's mothering and she's watching what the others are doing, she's in charge right then and there. But after that, she's not. Pablo is the oldest one. Nobody messes with Pablo. So he's alpha of the house. But then again, you have Biggie Smalls and Aries who fight, have to create and rotate. And Aries is 150 pounds and Biggie Smalls is 35 pounds. So there are different alphas in this house. Lily is an alpha when she's being mother hen. Pablo is the alpha because he's in charge and he doesn't say anything. So people confuse alpha with the one that talks the most or is in your face the most. That's not what an alpha is. oh, this dog's an alpha because it's always going and getting its food or taking that food. Oh, he's the alpha. No, he's not actually. The alpha is the one that is the most tolerant, who says nothing, who lets everything roll off his or her back. That is the alpha. People say, oh, this dog is the alpha dog because, she's always fighting or she's always bitching at the other dogs to stay away from her food or whatever. That is not an alpha. That's a dog that has anxiety. That's a dog that has an issue that has to be rectified. The dog that talks the most, the dog that goes the most, even if it's not a bite, I'm not talking a fight. I'm talking about, oh, I have to be front and center. That's not the alpha. That dog has some kind of anxiety, some kind of training issue. I can't say what it is without seeing the dog or talking to the person, but that is not the alpha. You ever, it's funny, I have to keep this clean, but I explain this to people, depending on my audience. You got a whole bunch of, two girls, they're out at a bar, and there's three guys. This guy here, that guy here, and then we're all talking, yada, yada, yada. This guy here is talking about how much money he has in the bank account and what kind of car he's got, how he lives. This guy's talking about how big his junk is. But the third guy, he ain't saying anything. The guy's talking about his money. He lives at home with mama, and he has a jalopy, and he don't have no money. This guy talking about how big his junk is. He's got a quarter-inch killer. The guy that the girl wants is the one in the back that is saying nothing, secure in his manlyhood, secure in his position. He don't have to brag about what he's got or what he don't got because he's secure. That is an alpha. Not the one that makes all the noise. Not the guys. Yeah. Same thing with chicks too. You got a girl. I could do this. I could do that. I could do this. I could do that. Probably can't do half of it, and just wants the attention because she has an issue with herself, and she needs the attention. She needs everybody to hear her. That ain't the alpha.
I agree. I read a poker book, a Texas Hold'em book by Doyle Brunson one time, and the line that stuck with me the most is 90% of the time, if somebody's acting weak, they're strong, and if they're acting strong, they're weak. As far as calling bluffs.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Either you're gonna do it or don't do it. But the person that's talking the most is not the alpha.
There you go. So you also say that you got to pick the water up, like.
Well, yeah, you want to pick. Well, you want to pick the water up when you're actually teaching the dog how to make outside, because a puppy can hold its urine 1 hour for every month. That's it. So here's the thing with puppies, though. You're talking about pup, right? They are pissing and shit machines. That's all they do is piss and shit. They take a nap, they wake up, they pee and poop. They run across the room, they stop, they pee and they poop. They're playing, they're eating. All they do, puppies, is piss and shit. Yes. That's all puppies do is piss and shit. Ugh. Okay, so you want to pick up the water a few hours before bedtime because you want them to empty their bladder. That's what I mean when I picking up the water. Because dogs can only hold it for 1 hour per month. So the bladder in a human and the dog is the same. It's a muscle. So the muscle is weak. Also, the brain is not talking to the bladder, and the bladder isn't talking to the brain yet, saying, hey, you got to go. Tell your person that you have to go outside. Scratch on the door. Not talking yet. This is why you'll see like little guys, little puppies, run, squat, because they don't even know they have to pee yet. The brain isn't telling the bladder isn't telling the brain, and they don't actually feel it yet. That's why we put diapers on babies, right? Because they don't know they have to pee because their bladder is not strong yet. And they can't tell you either.
So when you so when you're doing that, how do you combat that? Like me personally, I just take the dog. It's just a constant. Every 3 hours, the puppy, we're just going to go outside.
Depending on how old the dog is, but what you want to do is you want to get.
Okay, I'm gonna preface everything with it. This is a vaccinated dog. This is not an 8-week-old puppy. I'm not gonna put that on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So when you start that training though, and it's safe, and you vaccinated your dog, fully vaccinated your dog, and you're allowing it to go outside, what's the difference between that and say pee pads? Like,
Okay, so here's the thing, though. You're right about safety, about the vaccinations. I believe in them wholeheartedly. But if you have your own yard or your own property, you want to take your dog out on a leash with you attached to you to teach the dog how to make outside in the same 4 by 4, 4 feet by 4 feet square. That's it.
okay,
Because how's about this? I put down the wee wee pads. I teach the dog to make on the wee wee pad. But then I want to teach the dog to make outside. Where does the dog go to the bathroom? Everywhere but where you want it to go, because you've just confused the dog. You can piss and shit inside, but now later I'm going to yell at you to go outside. Yo, what do you want me to do? Inside or out? Now everywhere is my bathroom. So you can, if you have your own yard or a porch, something that's outside. If you want your dog to make outside and you safely can do it, you will take your dog on a leash to the same square 4 by 4 every single time.
so
Every time.
have you seen the trays that come with the artificial grass? Is that something you could use outside?
Yes, outside. Yes, you absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. For safety purposes, absolutely. Because you're confusing the dog with a pee pad. I hate pee pads. They confuse the dog. It doesn't work. It takes you longer to get where you have to get, especially if you're going to have a large dog that the pisses and shits are going to be huge in just a couple of weeks. And if you have the availability, and that's really good, that fake grass, whatever it is,
Yeah.
for safety purposes, you just get a little. And the reason why I keep saying the same 4 by 4 is because they pick up their own scent. They will piss in the same spot over and over and over.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I live on 7 acres, and whenever I let my dogs out of the house, like they all go to their own spots. Like they go
Because
way
they pick
off.
up their spot.
Yeah, they go. I got one that runs about 50 yards from the house every time.
Yeah,
So-
because
so-
they pick up their own spot, and then they mark everything thereafter. But whatever the case is, but if they pick up their own scent and they have to pee in the same spot. The poop is a little different. They need a little space to do their circling, and they do not like to piss and shit in the same exact spot. So you need to give them, and that's why if the dog is with you on a leash, you're doing a couple of things. You're bonding with the dog. The dog is learning how to walk on a leash and have a collar on at a young age, and you're teaching the dog this is where you go to the bathroom. And what do you do as soon as the dog is in mid-piss? Yes, mid. Yay! It's a pee-pee potty. P-P-P-A-W-T-Y. That's my word. Pee-pee potty. We're having a party. Because, wow, I go to the bathroom here, I get this. Even if the dog doesn't take the food that you're starting to get off of them, it's a pee-pee potty. Yay! Couple of times every day, and that, when the dog wakes up from a nap, take it out. Dog plays, take it out. When the dog eats, take it out. Constantly take the puppy out, because you want to let the dog know this is where you got to go. I'm really happy when you go there. And if the dog is with you when you're in the house, right? You get to control the outcome. So when the dog has an accident is when you holler at the dog. Yo, no. You don't start screaming, yelling. Yo, whatever. So let's go down that how do we train a puppy to make outside?
Just as well.
Yeah, because we're there anyway, and it's a little in depth there. So how do we train a puppy to make outside? You got your safety spot, you got your fake turf there or whatever it is. Okay, the dog puppy inside must be with you at all times. If you cannot watch your puppy, put the dog in a crate in a safe place. Didn't you put your kids in a crib or whatever, playpen, when you couldn't watch them?
Absolutely.
Okay, so why the hell wouldn't somebody want to put their dog in a safe place?
You know what? I don't know. I've had this argument with people that have got a puppy from me, I don't want to put it in a crate. That
They
seems so
don't
cruel.
understand.
And I was
It's
like,
not
well,
cruel.
that's,
It's
I
not
agree. I
cruel.
crate train myself.
Ugh.
That, to me, crate training, it helps the potty training process as well,
Oh, it
because as soon
does.
as I come out, they go out, right? They
That's
don't
right.
come out without not going outside.
That's right. That's correct. But
It,
anyway, let's not go off on the crate yet. So now,
yeah.
please, because that's a whole nother one. So if the dog makes in the house, just the way I just said, mid piss, you have to catch the dog in mid piss in order to correct it. Do not yell and scream when you come back into the kitchen and you step in piss or shit. Don't yell. It's too late. The dog does not know. People will argue with me. Oh, my dog knows. Yeah? How the fuck does your dog know? Because it put its ears back, because it went like that when you started yelling, put its tail between its legs, ran underneath the table? Yeah, of course it did all that. You raised your voice. That's why the dog cowered and ran away.
Yeah, so
It does not.
married men should understand that. Like, you come home, you don't know why she's mad. You don't know if it's you, if it's the kids.
But you know she's mad.
But exactly, I know tonight's
That's
gonna
exactly
be.
right. There you go.
I know
That's
tonight
it.
I'm gonna watch whatever she wants to watch.
That's
We're
right.
not
That's
arguing.
right. Right. So the point of having the dog with you as a pup is so you could control the outcome. If you catch the dog when it makes a mistake that early on with peeing and pooping, you will holler, "Yo, pick the dog up upside down." Yes, if it's a little puppy, upside down. Mid piss, you catch the dog. No! Pick the dog, flip him upside down. Go outside, exactly to the 4x4. Go outside. Whether or not the dog finishes or not, it's a moot point, but you got a puzzled look on your face because why I said upside down.
I did.
They, they stop streaming 98% of the times. The piss stops streaming when you turn a puppy upside down.
So they still got to go when you get them outside, then, right?
Yeah, a lot of times we're too slow, but as long as we catch the dog in mid piss and we do the yo and we follow through, go out here. You have to go to where the dog is allowed to go. Whether or not the dog continues and finishes or not is a moot point. Because I just caught the dog mid pee. I hollered at the dog. I made the dog stop peeing by flipping him upside down. If you can't flip him upside down, you're going to scare the dog anyway. He's going to run away when you're hollering, right? Now, what did I say before about dogs don't learn by failure? You reprimanded the dog. Now let's take the dog somewhere out of that negative and put the dog outside where he's allowed to go. 1, 2, 3. The dog pissed. I caught him. I hollered. The dog stopped. 1, 2, 3. Everything happens in threes with dogs, by the way. And then I take the dog outside. You go pee pee, you go pee pee, you go pee pee, whether or not the dog goes or not. This is where you go pee pee. It's a positive right here, whether or not he pees or not. Every single time you catch the dog. So what happens in the dog's brain over time says, oh, I do that, I get yelled at. When I go here, I get good things to come. And my mama and daddy are not yelling. It's that simple. But you have to catch the dog in mid piss because you get 2 seconds to correct and reward. Dogs can't hold anything longer than 2 seconds. 2 seconds, you have to catch it. You come home and your favorite whatever is chewed up. Don't bother yelling. Just suck it up because you left it out. You didn't teach your dog to leave it. So it's your fucking fault, not the dog's.
Exactly.
Don't start hollering at the dog because the dog has no idea what you're yelling at it for. I swear to God, they don't know. I promise you, they don't know. This is an argument. Oh, my dog knows. Yeah, no, they don't.
Hey,
they don't.
listen,
They don't.
the comparisons you draw to dog and men are uncanny. Half the time, I don't know why I'm getting yelled at or she's mad at me. So it's I understand what you're saying, and I see things differently through my dogs.
Yes, you do. So this is how you teach the dog to make outside, when possible, for safety. If you could skip the wee pad because you're confusing the shit out of the dog. You're saying, oh, it's okay to make inside, and then in a couple of weeks after the last shot, you now want the dog to automatically go outside. Well, you went inside. Yeah. Environment, the dog learns by environment. You forced the dog to go here. You rewarded the dog when he peed on the wee pad. You gave him a treat, but now you want him to stop that and go here just because you said so. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. Listen,
Okay.
when I was a kid, I have 18 dogs in my life. So my first dog was 4. That one I trained. My father says it was. I don't remember it, but my next dog, I used wee wee pads once. Every dog thereafter, never again, never again. Right outside, right outside. Again, I was blessed. I had a house with my family, and then I have a house with my husband. So I was able to do that where I know that this little spot right here is my spot. I clean it off, I wipe it down, meaning I take a scrub brush and I scrub that area, and I know that that's clean. By the way, don't use bleach or ammonia.
No.
Ammonia keeps the scent of urine, by the way, and it's also harmful for the dogs. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
So what cleaning? What common cleaning household cleaning would contain that you most people probably wouldn't even think about?
You know what? So I used to say nature's miracle because that was like the big stuff years and years, a very long time ago. Aging myself, yeah. Um, I got to tell you, the crazy guy. I don't know what his name is, but he has the commercial poof.
Mm-hmm.
I
You looking it up?
I am. Wait. Uh, I am looking it up because it's really good.
And
Okay.
this is a cleaning product.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. But I want to see if I could get this damn commercial for you because the guy is so fucking annoying, but it's really good. Where is it?
Now, would
Get
this
out of
be
here.
a good product or a bad product? Is this a
No, it's great. It's
recommendation
great.
or
No, yes,
it's a
yes, it
great?
is. It
Okay,
is.
okay.
I love it.
It's safe for people, pets, and the planet. What's this? Oh, that's pure ammonia. You just gotta move it. Check this out.
Just got to boof it.
Poof.
I don't smell anything. Literally nothing.
That's because there's nothing to smell. It's a commercial grade formula. A no nonsense, no fragrance, odor.
My my ignorance here. Is this a national
So that,
product? Is this you
yeah, yeah,
walk
yeah.
into
No,
Walmart and find it?
I don't know about probably, but I know I get it on Amazon. I have it.
Amazon, yeah, Amazon put everything in your living room.
Yeah, I know that. So this guy, and I'm going to quote him. It breaks down the urine to the molecular level. And you want to know something? It works. So if you have an accident or whatever the case is, or you just want to, you could get it for, by the way, for your laundry. It gives it like, gets rid of that dog smell. That for cat, for dogs, the laundry stuff that you could put in. So you have an accident in the house, you want to clean it up because dogs will go back. Again, dogs go back to where they make. Uh-huh. So you want to get up that urine smell. You want to get it all out, and just your Windex or your whatever it is, average stuff that you're using does not kill it. Does not kill the urine. This poof works.
Well,
It
you can
works.
get it. You can get it at your local Walmart. It's $15 a bottle, and it says that it eliminates odors, urine, blah 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 blah, and fragrance free. So I guess you smell nothing. I don't know.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna try it.
it works. It works. And I do not advocate for anything unless I use it myself. I got it right side. I have it. It works. I use it at the rescue that I help run. Lord knows there's piss and shit in that place everywhere because it's a rescue.
I mean, that's just a byproduct of the job, though, right? Like it's
Oh yeah. So so I mean, just to go back a little bit from for people that are hearing this and then we're bouncing all over the place. So we wanted to talk about puppies or even a dog that you just brought home, but really this was about talking about puppies
exactly.
and what you want to do. You want to socialize them. You want to make them well rounded to all of the things, just the way you did with your children. You brought them
You
to
hope,
see.
you hope that you don't know that happened.
You're right. I
That's a
don't.
pretty
And
big assumption you're making
you're
there.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. And you know what? I don't have kids, so you want to socialize the freaking puppy or the dog to all of the things, but you do not want to push the puppy or the new dog that you just brought home past a threshold of the dog can't handle too much. Slowly, not the whole freaking house, one room at a time, 72-hour decompression period. Do not introduce the dog to your other dogs.
Oh, really? We didn't say that earlier.
No, do not introduce the dog before 72 hours when you first bring the dog home. The
Eh,
dog is afraid. If something negative happens, you can't fix it. I can't undo it.
Oh, so you're talking about if the two dogs get in a fight, or if it
Or
attacks the puppy or whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. People are like, oh yeah, my dog is good with other dogs. Yeah, so now you just made that puppy scared shitless, and now what? The dog is afraid of dogs. Could be. I mean, puppies are very, very resilient. That may not happen right away, but it could. Why the hell would you want to take that chance? I know some people hear me say that. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I do because I'm doing this since I'm 15. I'm 50, and I have been in rescues my entire life. And one shot could fuck up a dog. One shot, one altercation, one growl, one whatever, you could screw it up. Or the dog is really cool and really resilient and it doesn't give a shit. But either which way, if you know that you could possibly prevent it, why the hell wouldn't you just stay away from it?
Man, I believe wholeheartedly though that I don't know that it's a grudge thing, but it seems to be in my experience that if you have two dogs that tie up, it's a liability for a long time. Like they're well, I can see your disgust and your disagreement. Will you
No,
please
no, no. I
educate
agree.
me?
No. I
Oh,
agree.
okay.
I do. I'm shaking my head because I have it. I have two dogs that fight, and the pack before this pack, I had two dogs that fight. And it doesn't matter how good of a trainer I am or how good of a behavior analyst I am. It doesn't matter. Shit happens when you're not even looking.
Right.
And Biggie and Aries, Lindley and Aries babied mother and father Biggie Smalls. Got here as a puppy. He was supposed to be a foster. He's forced to failure. They raised him. 1 year of age is the magical time. 1 year of age, and all of a sudden, that puppy is not a puppy anymore. I know we think it is, but it's not a puppy anymore. So the dogs in the house were giving that puppy a puppy pass. So if the puppy was being a ball breaker, they were giving that dog a puppy pass. If they were tolerant, they were giving him a puppy pass. 366 days old, you ain't a puppy no more. I ain't giving you no pass, and I'm going to let you know how I feel about it. And that's when shit happened. And Biggie and Aries, and I wasn't here for the first fight, so I don't know what the hell triggered it. But it's never out of nowhere. I love when people say that. Out of nowhere. It's never out of nowhere. Never, never,
Nah,
never.
you see it. You see it when you start seeing the whites of their eyes when they're around each other. It's
Well, that's whale eyes. You want to be careful when
yeah.
that's a whale eye. You don't be careful with that. But it's almost, and I tell you when I say almost never out of nowhere, people say, "Oh, this dog bit me out of nowhere." This pit bull, especially, bit out of nowhere. It's never out of nowhere. Every 150,000th dog could be out of nowhere, but even then, it's out of somewhere. It's in the brain. Has to do with chemicals, yada yada. We ain't going down that road. But
No,
it's never out of nowhere. And most of the time, we're the reason. Because we get involved, we put our hands involved, we start hooting and hollering, and we take the adrenaline and push it up. That's when the dogs react quicker.
yeah. I don't disagree with that. But I just, that's like I said, I've noticed that once that first altercation happens, it's
That's it.
boy, they hold a grudge for a while, it seems.
Well, it's not a grudge. Let's go back to what I was saying before.
Well, they don't know
Good point.
English. I'm just using my word. What it would be if I
Well,
was a person.
well, but wait, think about this for a second. What did I say before about something, a socialization, something bad happening, like that stove?
Right. It's like the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Like
That's right.
Knowledge is knowing the match is hot. Wisdom is remembering to burn.
There you go. So the first fight. Have you ever been in a fist fight growing up?
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. So the first fight has been a lot. My first fight, I was scared shitless. I didn't know what to do. I got hit first. Okay. I fought back, but I don't know. Second fight, I did this once before. Third fight, I come out swinging. Fourth fight, I'm taking people down because it's an event. It's happened. They don't forget an event. How do they learn? By an event or applied learning? I certainly didn't apply learning to for you to fight, but it happened for whatever frick the reason is. It happened. I can't unring that bell. People who say they can, you cannot unring it. And it becomes the second fight, third fight, fourth fight becomes even easier and easier. Biggie Smalls and Aries, if they pass each other, they have to create and rotate Biggie. If they even see, it's on in a freaking second. It is so fast, and it is hard to break up a large dog with a small dog. And you know what? When you have multiple dogs, it's called pack mentality. I don't know why I'm getting involved, but I'm
somebody's gonna pick a side.
Pablo, my alpha, he doesn't give a shit. He walks away. But Lindley, she gets involved. She doesn't know why. You could see her confusion. Do I bite Biggie or do I bite Aries? And I'm like, come on, goofball. She's biting them both. She doesn't know why. Pack mentality. They're doing it. I got to do it too. So you cannot undo that. I cannot unring that bell. If you socialize your dogs and you not give them anxiety with the coddling, if you teach the dog how to eat from your hand, from the bowl with your hand, you're doing all the things to let the dog know that you are in charge, and that you will give it foundation and consistency. That's what the dog needs. They don't need the free run of the house. They don't need their own bedroom. They don't need all the things. They don't need a dog park. They don't need a wardrobe. Those are nice to have. Those are human things. They're not dog things, my friends. They're not dog things.
Yeah, what's it called when you give animals human type behavior and is this it's a writing word? I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google it, but it's when you describe non-human things as human. You know, it's like when you put clothes on a dog, that's a non-dog behavior that you're putting.
Right. Right. Listen, Pablo loves his sweaters. He loves coats. He loves to have a shirt on. Do I dress it? I say this, Pablo, come here. You want to get dressed? He comes flying over. He sits. He wants to put his coat on. He's always cold. So that may be why. But I'm not saying you can't do this shit to your dog. I'm not saying you can't love your dog. I'm not saying you can't coddle your dog, but do it under the right situations. Let's not coddle the dog when it's scared shitless, because we are teaching the dog that you're scared too, and now you have taught the dog to be afraid under that circumstance every single time.
We've covered a lot, and I'll be honest with you, that one, as far as when your dog's scared, you know, not basically giving him positive reinforcement to continue to be scared is I don't think anybody does that on purpose. It's just something you would do out of a nature and personality, I would think. Like,
right, especially people that have kids, because this is what they did to their kids. And I see that, you know, when I speak to people when I'm doing the assessment on the phone and they start to talk and I say, all right, let me guess, this is that. And I say, I know you did it out of love because you want to love your dog, but that's not the way a dog loves. It loves when you give it guidance and foundation and structure. That's when the dog bonds with you and wants to work for you, not against you.
That's the same thing with it. Just, I mean, I know we're humans and we think we're so sophisticated or whatever, but we're just an animal in the animal kingdom. We just happen to have thumbs. So your kids are the same way. If you coddle them all through life, boy, they're shit young adults, and they got to go figure life out on their own, and it's a lot harder, and they're set back once they in their early 20s versus excelling and making progress in life. Sometimes you just gotta let them get that wisdom.
Yeah, you gotta let them fall and skid their knee and get up and brush it off and keep going.
Exactly.
So with the dog, it's similar, but we don't leave the dog out in the cold during the thunderstorm.
Well, I ain't never left my kids
associate
out in the cold. That's how you go to jail, you know. As much as I'd like to throw them out, sometimes you know you can't. It's not something they allow you to do. But so just to recap here, you know, and we'll do another one. I guess we need to go over crate training and whatever else.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
gonna be another one.
Next stages.
My dogs want to eat. It's past their dinner time. Although Lindley is very, let me go. Come here.
So yeah, we'll call it there. We just to recap, we just, you know, we went over. It's important to socialize your dogs and start training your dogs at the appropriate ages, right? Like
right away. Again, it's not commands. It's not commands. It's teaching the dog to be with you, socializing the dog to the things, having a puppy collar on it. Because you know you don't want to put a big collar on the dog. You want to put a puppy collar on, and don't leave the collar on when it's not being attended. Okay, you want to let the dog feel the weight of the collar and the leash. Associate the dog to that, because later when you have to walk the dog, and the dog never felt the collar and never felt the weight of a leash, guess what? They're gonna be scared of it.
Oh man, I know. Like, a quick story, real quick. I took a dog in at a year, and we were with the intentions of showing him, and I have now at this point. But when I first got him, it was not told to me the dog had never been on lead, and so I'll take a dog to town with me, and so like I stopped at the feed store to pick up dog food, and I took him with me. This is the first, and I just 2 days I've had him, right? So I get him out, I put him in a halter, and put the leash on him, and when he took off, and he hit the end of that leash, and when he did, he screamed out like I was hitting him, and he come running back to the other end, and it's every time he hit the end of that leash, we did that till I caught him, and I'm like, hey man, people know me here, you can't be doing this. And I carried him in the store. Now he'll go in the feed store, he can even be off leash. You know, he'll stay right with me, but it's taken almost a year, and he was
Lindley was not ever on a leash. So when at the rescue, she was adopted by some people, and then she was dumped back. Don't get me started, but I took her thereafter. They never had her on a leash, so I have 3 jobs, 4 dogs, so she will walk with Aries. If Aries is walking, she will walk, but she's not a happy camper. And she would drop down to the floor and quiver as soon as she put a leash on her. So I did the work, but she walks nicely with Aries. But she never had a leash on either. I didn't know that. But
I'm gonna be honest with you. That dog, he was terrified of a leash, and he scarred me that day too, because it happened so quick. He definitely took me by surprise.
Yeah, sure,
and
absolutely.
It took me a minute to compute what was going on. Hell, I thought something had him. I didn't know whether to drop the leash and run or grab him. I didn't.
Because you've never encountered a dog that had not had a leash or a collar on.
Not at a year. You know,
right?
Not
exactly.
at a year. It was something I neglected to even. Yeah, it was something I neglected to even consider, and I got educated quickly.
Yeah, socialize the dog to the collar and the leash from the beginning. You don't have that problem.
Well, all right, Miss Christine, I appreciate it, and I think we're gonna call it because my puppy's hollering at me over there. I don't know if you can hear it.
No, I can't, but my 4 are hollering at me because they're hungry.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next time. Just send me an email or a text, and like what you want to talk about next and when, and like we can do this, you know, on your schedule, whatever's convenient, once a month, whatever.
Whatever you want to do.
I enjoy talking to you. I learn something every time.
I like talking to you too. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.
Welcome inside the kennel, the heartbeat of the dog game, where real breeders break down real experiences, and the experts drop the knowledge you can't Google. We talking structure, bloodlines, nutrition, training, wins, losses, and everything that makes champions in and out of the ring. This is for the ones who live it, breathe it, and build it, one lit at a time. Your host, Kevin, Ben, and Roderick. Lock in.